Hey traders, Jason here from Lab Brothers. So in this video, which I call some random charts that have promise, I'm just going to flip through some individual names, charts that are starting to look pretty good. The purpose here is just to kind of start gauging what we might play when the market improves, okay? Market has been flat for several months. In the last 2 weeks, it's been weak-ish. Yesterday we got a big potential reversal candle. We don't know. We need follow through. We need a lot of follow through. We need a back test. A lot of things have to play out for us to have confidence that yesterday was a reversal. So I want to start building a list of stocks that, like, hey, we might be playing these on the market's next leg up. Okay, it could be in the next week, or if the market moves down again and is weak for another month, it could be stocks that we play in another month. Okay, my goal as a trader isn't to constantly be in and out, okay? I do trade a little bit like that, but my ultimate goal is to buy a stock that's acting really well and just hold it for several months and double my money, okay? That's the ultimate goal, okay? Make a little bit of money, pay the bills, being in and out, but the ultimate goal is to buy some really good stocks that I could hold for 6 months and do really well with, okay? So the whole purpose here is just start building a list, see what stocks are acting well. So I'm going to flip through a few here. All right, so here's Arrow. Okay, you can see it was weak. Now it's basing. Boom, boom. Looks good right now coming out of this little base near 10, 11 bucks. Even in the short term, like the market, market's doing well. Did great yesterday after the reversal. It's following through today. You can see 14 is probably a key level. Even in the short term, this looks like a pretty good chart to continue building this base. And you could play it now, or you could sit back and wait. And when we definitely know the market has bottomed, then this looks like a chart that could break out here at 14 and probably go up to 20. ASTS, volatile stock, ran up here December, January, came down kind of hard, based here, accelerated up after earnings, has done some backing and filling, back to the old resistance level. And now looking, decent. You could play it now for a little bit of a bounce, or you can just keep it on your radar as a stock that's probably going to do well, at least getting back up to the high when the market definitely has bottomed. A10, it's hard not to ignore what's going on here. Like our linear regression line doing this, breaks out after earnings, comes back down. Now, if whether it moves sideways or dips a little bit, as long as any type of dip is relatively shallow, you're going to have some sort of cup and handle pattern here forming for a potential big move after that. Broadcom, going back several months, it's unchanged, but I'm looking at the fact that semiconductors have been very weak lately, and this stock has done very well. So very quietly, it's been a leader within the semiconductor space, and it's worth keeping an eye on. CEG, probably the best group right now is some of the old school power companies. They took some hits, not too bad, most of them still in uptrends, and now they're bouncing. So the market's been pretty weak since the beginning of February, and this stock has moved up and now seems to be just consolidating. There's a lot of stocks within the group that are acting similarly. It's one of the better groups right now. DLR as a REIT, not bad. Again, market did pretty well, and market did all right in January. It's been weak in February. This stock moved up to a higher high and now seems to be consolidating. So it seems to be positioning itself to run higher at a later date. DNN, really, don't want that. Acting really well, moved up here, came down, based, moved up again, now consolidating in a wider symmetrical triangle. This looks really good for a run at some point. Carmen, okay, I don't know where the entry is here. I just know that, moved up, came down, dip back to the 21, which is the orange line, runs up to a new high. Pretty big dip, but I just think it's been acting really well recently while the market has been pretty iffy. So I don't know what happens from here, I'm certainly not going to chase it up here. It's kind of volatile, not a very smooth trading stock, but it's one to keep an eye on. If we get a pullback here, then I could see kind of a cup and handle forming over here, and maybe a trade later. Something to keep an eye on. Lunar, lots of overlapping candles, but base here, runs up, comes down kind of hard, sloppy trading right now. Okay, I don't know where the entry is because there are a lot of overlapping candles and such, but it seems to be tightening up. And, if it could just sit tight and be quiet while the market's trying to figure things out, it could be a good one at a later date. MP, very quietly, just basing here. Okay, even with resistance here at like 65, higher low over here, it's kind of basing, not ready to move up quite yet, but I'm just moderately encouraged by the fact that it's just quietly basing while the market is trying to figure things out. And when the market does figure things out, this stock should do well. And even if the market drops again, even if like last week's drop and into yesterday's low is just the first leg down of like maybe 2 or 3 legs, if this stock can hold the lows here, then it'll have strong relative strength, and it'll be one to play at a later date. Marvel, kind of hard to ignore. They have earnings. The stock moved up huge. Okay, so purely from a relative strength standpoint, it is one of the stronger semiconductor stocks, even if it fades back into this into its range from the last couple of days. As long as it doesn't fall back too much, should be positioned to to run up over 100. Nebius, another one that's just kind of quietly basing. Last year it was much lower, tripled, quadrupled off of its 2025 low. Double top here comes down, but it didn't fall that much. It just kind of fell back and is now basing very quietly, minding its own business. It should do well if the market legs down again, and this can just kind of quietly move down. It's a great type of trade to make, is that you identify a really good stock, a really good company, and when the market is weak, even the good companies will get kind of pulled down against their will. And when that happens, you get an opportunity to buy a great stock at a discount price. So even if the market legs down, if this thing falls and just kind of gets pulled down, but there's not a whole lot of volume and energy there, it'll be a good stock to buy in a dip. And then eventually when the market rights itself, and I don't know when that's going to be, it could be now, it could be after the election. I don't know. I don't know how long the current mess is going to last. But at some point in time, the stock's going to most likely break out and at least go back up to its high. NXE, done great. This is one of our trades from earlier in the year. Broke out, ran up, came down. Now, relative strength here is really good. The market's been weak lately, and yet this stock has moved up and is now just consolidating in a range. So this one is one to keep an eye on. PL, another one. I don't know where the entry is here. I just know that the stock moved up, consolidated, moved up, came down, and while the market has been weak, the stock has slowly moved up. Okay, again, I don't know where resistance is. I don't know what the entry is. There are a lot of overlapping candles here, but it's got strong relative strength, and it's one to keep an eye on. Redcat, really volatile. Let me see if I could zoom out here. Yeah. Really volatile stock, big swings in both directions, but lately really not tightening up. Those are big range. Those bars are big, but big range bars acting well, huge volume, settles in here regardless of what happens. If the market moves up, this one's going to go up eventually too. If the market moves down and this stock kind of gets pulled down here but can hold previous lows, it'll be a good stock to buy on a dip. RDW, let me zoom in here a little bit. So another aerospace stocks ran up, came down, now basing, resistance level somewhere in here, got high, couple higher lows, tightening up a little bit. Overall looks good. Volume heavily favors buyers. Are very few, there are no big red volume bars over here. So this stock should do fairly well if I back it up. All part of some sort of like big basing pattern here, that eventually when the market rights itself and we actually get a legit rally that lasts a while, this stock's probably going to do well, probably break out in the mid-teens and go up to 20. Rocket Lab, quietly minding its own business and basing. Okay, it's done really, really well. Moves up, consolidates, comes back, moves up, pulls back, consolidates. If the market has bottomed, then this stock's going to be playable sooner rather than later. If the market legs down again and this stock legs down again, it'll be a perfect example of opportunity to buy a quality stock at a discount price. Okay, but right now it's just quietly minding its own business. The market's been kind of weak the last 5-6 weeks, and this stock is mostly just moved sideways in a range. So good looking. EchoStar moved up, sideways, moved up, now consolidating off its high. Same thing as Rocket Lab, just quietly minding its own business and basing. When the market's ready to go, this stock will probably be a leader. SMCI, another one of those stocks that I would just say it's quietly basing. Okay, market's been weak the last several weeks, and this stock is just quietly basing. No big deal, not being pulled down further, putting in higher lows. Okay, a lot of history's biggest winners will put in a series of higher lows while the market is kind of sketchy, and then when the market finally bottoms, those stocks which have already put in higher lows end up doing really, really well. So this stock nicely basing. Can't say like this could continue moving sideways for 2 more months. You don't know, but we do know that the relative strength is improving. TSI, big move up last year, double top, big move down. Now it's been basing since mid-November. Good move today. It's up almost 10%. It's up about 10%, breaking out here. So it's one to play right now, and then it's one to keep an eye on. We don't know if they've fixed all their issues. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. We don't know. But looks, it's been basing for several months. Volume down here on the bottom is very, heavily favors the bulls. So it's one to keep an eye on. Yumi has become one of my top picks, top trades lately. Big, just nice base. I mean, look at this. Moves up here. We got some good volume here. Now consolidating over here on the right side. Everything looks good. Like, even if, let me get rid of that. So if we have a resistance here about 12 right in the middle of this range here, even if the market legged down again and this thing just kind of slowly drifted down but didn't do a whole lot of damage, it would be nicely positioned to curl back up, eventually take out the highs, take out this January high, and probably run up into the high teens. So this one looks really, really good. Multi-month base. Just overall, this one looks great. UMAC, really volatile. Okay, no question about that. Lots of overlapping candles, lots of inconsistency there, but pretty obvious to see that like this, trend up here, double bottom here, goes up to a new high, big rounded bowl here, even if we got a pullback here. So this is the kind of stock that if the market pulls back, I'm going to watch this, and if this thing gets pulled down against its will very slowly and doesn't do too much damage, then you're going to have like a cup and handle over here with resistance over here near 20. And then when the market bottoms, this thing breaks out and probably runs to the high 20s. So you're not going to play it now because we've just gone from 11 to 20, and we've had several up days in a row on big volume. But it's one to put on your list for another day. All right, so that's it. Market's been flat. Market was flat for several months. Then it started heading down. Yesterday we got a potential bottoming pattern. Lots of headline risk right now with the war. Things could get better. Things could get worse. We don't know. We want to build our list and have some stocks ready to go. So when we feel confident the market actually has bottomed, we'll have some stuff to deal with. There's definitely going to be some really great trades. Okay. As a swing trader, like I would rather sit, 80% cash and like just wait. And then when the market definitely is improving, to get more aggressive, and you'll make more money in like a month or two than you did the previous 6 months, churning your account. So be patient, build your list. All right. See you next time.